You guys go. Better feel for the room. No more gigantic mess. Yeah, it's good for 2 kids and 2 adults, it says. But yeah, and then you got a little closet there. So that's it. And then you get this nice balcony, though. It's also nice. You go, this is like the rec area. That's like the snack bar. They have lots of good food there, but it's just not open right now. Time of year or COVID, I'm not sure. But they have like nice little playgrounds, like the volleyball and other stuff. They have a rec room in that building, but that's closed. And they have this. It's cute for Halloween. Ta-da! So if anyone happens to go down the Blue Rocks and then they take the Yellow Blaze up to the pinnacle, you're going to skip Pulpit Rock in a few miles, but you make it up with all the extra miles you do to get down here. But you get to site 102, 105, and right after that you hit this big Yellow Blaze, and we think this is right. I mean, there's another Yellow Blaze. And there's a sign! What sign? Oh.
Blue Rock Store.
Well, it's right across from the Blue Rock Store sign.
Yeah.
And then you go up here, hopefully. Confirm later. I don't know how well you can tell, but this is the steepest, and it's all like rolling rocks. But yeah, oh, Dad, I'm sure you remember this. Whoa, it was our favorite part of the whole day. Here she comes. There's the blaze. Look at all the blazes. I made it. How do you feel?
Fine.
That's good.
Yeah.
You don't feel good? Just fine. Whew, here we go. But the Yellow Blaze drops us off pretty much at the top, near where the pinnacle is, only a little bit further, and we earned ourselves a view. Straight up.
That's something I would have loved as a kid.
Oh yeah, you like that stuff as a kid?
Yeah. Whenever my family did that, like, week in the mountains,
Yeah.
I'd always find the little trails that went straight up the side.
How old were you?
And like scamper right up. Maybe like 9 or 10.
Oh yeah. Were you alone in the wilderness?
I mean, it was like near our house that we rented.
Yeah, okay.
And I would go out with like fields and there.
Right. Oh, okay, that's cool. Yeah, I guess I knew 9. I was out and doing things on my own.
But yeah, man, Field and I talked like so much.
It's the pinnacle. Literally. Whoa, look at all the birds. Wow. I don't know if you can see them all down there, but look at also all the colors. Wow. I've never been up here when it's fall. This is really pretty. So much color. All right. So check this out, guys. You see that ridge line out there? That's the AT. So that's where we're heading on to. I have no idea how far in we're going, but first we go back that way and we swing around, boom, and we end up over here. There you go, nice camp spot there. Right right at the pinnacle. And the pinnacle has a very good sunrise spot if the sky enables it. Hey-oh. This is the helicopter landing zone. Yeah. And now I get to go on into the path. Straight ahead. I've many a times longingly glanced over at. I get to pass by the side trail. If anyone remembers this. Ta-da! So, let me show you what we did. We went up to about here. We went down to Blue Rocks Campground somewhere, maybe down here. And then took a yellow trail. So there's the pinnacle. So we took a yellow blaze, like up here. So blue trail to rocks, yellow trail up here, and then up to the pinnacle. Then over, boom, now I'm here. And since I've been here a couple times, I take this trail down, back to the parking lot. Now, I got to go whoosh, all the way over, and then it'll bend up there, eventually. Cool. So, it's exciting. It's neat, you get to, like I'm familiar with this place, and so it's a completely different feeling than all the places where I've never been before. So, very fun, very fun. Let's go into the great unknown. Hey, it's time for a hawk talk. Let's see. I don't know. I'm starting to lose track of what I've said before. But maybe this is new. I think it's new. This is about quote unquote how to listen. Obviously, we all listen all the time, but I've been told like many times that I am a good listener, that people catch themselves very frequently in conversation with me like, why am I talking about this? I don't normally tell people these things. And I've been told by others that I'm a good listener. Easy to talk to, they say. And then some people ask, like, why, how, and how. And then I thought about it, and I came up with, try to notice, what's happening within me, or about me, and what's happening with them, and for them, in the conversation. So, what I think, there's, in terms of just being a good listener is one thing, and then having people feel comfortable is another. So just for listening, I think the number one attribute is listening with intense curiosity, and that will enable you to listen to the other person and only register, what's coming across from them, instead of getting lost in your mind about how do I respond, getting lost in your ego about maybe feeling offended by something, or feeling the need to have what's the word? I don't know, a response, or a deflection, or, I can't think of the right expression there, but yeah, having some kind of defensive response, but just listening to what the person's saying, and with a curiosity, and wanting to know more, wanting to, better understand. So I think that's the curiosity aspect. And if you just do this, then you'll be a really good listener and really understand the other person's point of view and their perspective, and you'll learn a lot about whatever it is they're talking about. And then if you, for the comfortable thing, an important aspect of that is listening without judgment, no judgment. Listening without judgment, I think, is number one for feeling comfortable, and listening with compassion. And you hear a lot of people's kind of issues and problems when you do this, but you're not, you're not trying to fix, people's situations. You're not always able to either, and it's just helpful to be a listener, to have someone that they can kind of let go of some stress, or let go of some of that that energy that they're holding on to. By talking it out, they're able to let go of that. So anyway, that is a little bit about, I guess, being a good listener, or how to listen. Follow that car if you want to go to the Eckert shelter. Apparently it's a nice enclosed shelter with showers and a flush toilet, and I think it's just on someone's property. I'm not sure, but it's 0.2 down the road, and it's supposed to be very nice. And you can get there's a spigot at it's like I think similar to 501 shelter. It's like the caretaker's house is right nearby, and there's a spigot you can get water at and things like that. So I question if you're allowed to go into it this year, because I went to the 501 shelter and there was a little bugs, and yeah, I don't know if I ever told you guys about that. I was supposed to. Let me see. Hey, I don't know if I told you guys, but I'll tell you now. So the 501 caretaker, he's got a trail name Borderline or 501 caretaker. He'll go by both. He's an old, when he was 18, he went into the military to be a nurse, and he did that for a while, and then he kind of did some other odd jobs afterwards, and eventually came to the trail. And he's been a part of the trail for like the past 20 years. In the past 4 years, he's lived at the 501 caretaker home, which I think is owned by the state or local park service or something. And either way, he doesn't own it, but he lives there as a caretaker, and he is taking care of like a 70-mile stretch in that area. So near what town was that? I don't remember. So anyway, I get there, you guys see the doors open, I go inside, I kind of make myself comfy, and I didn't really think I was doing anything wrong, despite the signs that said, careful, COVID. I just figured it's, own discretion kind of thing. And I hung up some gear, and that gave him the obvious notice someone is here. And I am kind of making myself comfy, and I hear this rustling, and a guy pokes his head through the window. I was like, oh, hey, the door's open, come on in. Just like make the assumption that it's a hiker. And then he pauses and is very stern, and he says why don't you come out here? And I'm like, uh-oh, that you're in trouble voice that your parents normally give you. So I step outside and I'm like, hey, are you the caretaker? He's like, yeah. And then he kind of gives me the third degree, trying to figure out if I'm like a thru hiker or a squatter or what. So I answered his questions reasonably well, and he kind of thinks maybe I'm a thru hiker. I guess it's kind of getting low in the season. I'm not sure. He was very skeptical, and And he says, you know, you shouldn't be in there. And I'm like, oh, I didn't think it was so like stern. I thought it was more of a suggestion. He's like, no, you're not supposed to be in there. I was like, okay, well, I'll move. That's fine. And we started talking, and you know, I never got mad or mean or anything, and I was understanding and nice the whole time. And then he kind of lightened up a little bit and told me about being a nurse, and he had Epsom salts, and says I'll offer people foot baths, you know, sometimes when they're out here, how your feet feeling. And I was like, a foot bath sounds good. And he says, well, move your crap out of there and set up your tent, and then come over, and we can do something for that. And I was like, oh, okay, sounds good. And then I started packing up all my stuff, and then he says, hey, from outside the enclosed shelter, and I figured he was talking to somebody else because we had just finished talking. But he does it enough times, and his voice gets a little bit more annoyed, and I'm like, oh, he must be talking about me. And so I go out, and he says, you know what? Why don't you just stay in there? It's already like close to 6 o'clock, getting close to. It's after 5 anyway. And he's like, I don't think anyone else is going to be coming in here anyway, so I'm tired of kicking people out. If you want, you just stay in there. If anybody asks, I told you to leave. And I'm like, okay, I'll do that too. And so he let me stay in there, which was very nice because I enjoyed that. And then he also did the foot bath. We had a nice, you know, conversation and everything. And then in the morning, I carried on my way. But that was an interesting spot. And it's just nice that, yeah, just like he came at me really hard, and just because of my ability to, I don't know, I understood his position very well and clear, and didn't take any personal offense to his take on the situation. So because I was able to do these things and act with, I guess, kindness and such, able to turn the situation around, and everything ended very nicely. Allow me to just correct myself. Not Eckerd, the shelter, Eckville shelter. Yes.